Hi, I'm Ms. Matsuoka, and I'm going to teach you about how to add and subtract rational expressions. So to do that, first we have to understand what these rational expressions are. All they are is just fractions, so it's like adding and subtracting fractions. So it's kind of like this, 3/4 minus 1/6. So to do this, you need a common denominator. And now when we find a common denominator, the most efficient way to find it is not to multiply this by 6 and multiply that by 4. It's to kind of figure out like what the least common multiple is, right? So we're going to figure out basically what each one is missing that the other one has. This one has two 2's, this one has a 2 and a 3. So this one's missing a 3, and this one here is missing a 2. So here, all I'm doing is multiplying out by what they're missing, so I get 9/12 minus 2/12, and in total that gives me 7/12. So that's exactly how we're going to approach these problems here. So if you look, our first step is to factor the denominators. The second step is to find a common denominator by multiplying by what's missing. And if you're subtracting, you want to distribute the negative. Regardless if you're subtracting or adding, you will combine like terms. So let's look at this first problem here. So we're subtracting. If you look at the denominators, they don't really have anything in common. We can't really factor them or anything like that. So we're going to multiply by what's missing. So we're going to multiply the first fraction by x plus 3, because that's what it's missing. And we multiply the second fraction by x plus 2 because that's what that one's missing. Now, in the numerator, that's where we definitely need to multiply out. So it's going to be 3x plus 9 in the top of the first one. And in the bottom, we're just going to keep it as it is. I don't actually need us to multiply that out. It's going to be minus. And I'm going to, again, multiply this out. So I'm going to do FOIL. So x squared plus 2x plus x plus 2, and on the bottom it's x plus 3 times x plus 2. Now if you don't know how I multiplied out those polynomials, I have a video on multiplying polynomials that would be perfect for you. Now here you can see that we've done steps 1 and 2, we're doing step 3 now. So it says if subtracting, distribute the negative. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute my negative right now. So when I distribute my negative, this will become positive, and all these will become negatives. Okay. So now I combine like terms. So first I have my x squared term. I only have -1 of those. I have this 3x minus 2x, which gives me x, minus that x gives me nothing. And then I have 9 minus 2, which gives me 7. So plus 7 over here, all over x plus 2 times x plus 3. So that right there is my answer. I can circle it in red. That might be easier to see. Okay, now my next one. My next one you can see is a little bit harder with the denominators. So I need to factor them this time. So I'm going to factor this one over here. On the top is going to be -5. On the bottom is going to be +4. So on the sides I'm going to get 5 and -1. So I'm just going to rewrite it. It's x plus 3 over x plus 5 times x minus 1. The second one, I have -20 on the top, 1 on the bottom, so that's 5 and -4. So that's going to be x plus 5 times x minus 4 and x minus 5 on the top. Now, we multiply by what's missing. So this one, it's missing the x minus 4. So that's what I multiply on the top and on the bottom. This one here is missing this x minus 1. Now, some of you might have noticed, like, oh, that's x minus 7, that's x plus 5. Can we cancel them out? No, they have to be exactly the same in order for you to cancel it out. If it was the same, then absolutely cancel them out. But since they're not exactly the same, we can't cancel them out. Also, also, some other students I've taught, they like to cancel these out. But we just multiplied by those, so you definitely don't want to cancel them out. That's all in part trying to get a common denominator. So we're really trying to get a common denominator. That's why, even though we can cancel them out, we really don't want to. So now we're going to multiply this out. So in the top part, we're going to have x squared. That's going to be minus 4x plus 3x minus 12 all over x plus 5, x minus 1, x minus 4, plus, and I multiply these out, I get x squared minus x minus 5, x plus 5. On the bottom, I get x plus 5, x minus 4, and x minus 1. So I'm not subtracting, so I don't need to worry about distributing a negative. I'm just combining like terms. So I have x squared and x squared, that gives me 2x squared in the top. I have negative 4x plus 3x, that gives me negative x, minus x, that gives me negative 2x, minus 5x, which gives me negative 7x. I have negative 12 plus 5, that gives me minus 7, and it's all over that denominator, x plus 5, x minus 1, and x minus 4. It does not matter in which order you write the denominator. All that matters is that you have all the factors in there in the end. So I've given you a couple different examples now. So I think we are ready for our bonus question. Here is your bonus question. Make sure that you follow all the steps, especially with that factoring. You're very careful with all the factoring and all that. And if you ever need help on anything, especially factoring, please make sure you stop by and ask. All right, good luck.